Okay, Shalom Israel. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rechak. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And this lesson is going to be a more so of a continuation from the previous lesson I just did on how a sword is sharpened. All right, and it's inspired by this article I went into. It's called Ron Paul, Who Are the Real Extremists? All right, and let me see. This guy Ron Paul. Let's get a little information on this guy, Ron Paul. He's a former U.S. representative. So it says Ron Ernest Paul is an American author, physician, and retired politician who served as the U.S. representative for Texas 22nd Congressional District from 1976 to 1977, and again from 1979 to 1985. And for Texas 14th Congressional District from 1997 to 2013. All right, so this dude was around. He was around for a while. It says, was on 3 occasions he sought the presidency of the United States as the Libertarian Party nominee in 1988 and as candidate of the Republican primaries of 2008 and 2012. Paul is a critic of the federal government's fiscal policies, especially the existence of the Federal Reserve and the tax policy, as well as the military-industrial complex in the war on drugs. He has also been a vocal critic of mass surveillance policies such as USA Patriot Act and the NSA surveillance programs. He is the first chairman of the conservative PAC Citizens for a Sound Economy and has been characterized as the intellectual godfather of the Tea Party movement. So this guy, he was on the inside. All right, basically meaning he was a part of this government. He's seen the bullshit that went down, and as we just read, he also has been a vocal critic of mass surveillance policies such as USA Patriot Act and the NSA surveillance programs. All right, now just a little something on this guy Ron Paul. Now it's something that stood out to me. The whole article is pretty good. But even the last paragraph of this article, it says, as the welfare warfare fiat money system collapses, and this is why you have all of these consecutive days of the stock market dropping, because Esau Edom wants to crash the dollar and bring in a new world currency. All right. Which even Aaron Russo went into that, man. All right, they want to they want to get a new world currency known as, I believe, as the Amero. All right. So it says, as the welfare warfare fiat money system collapses. All right, and you can watch any guy that's into that, like gold and find like the money GPS. That guy, I watch him. I see his videos every so often. Gerald Salente, was it this guy Jim Swagger? So it says the welfare warfare fiat money system collapses because it will collapse. Okay, as a matter of fact, this whole system is going to collapse, man. Which in the Bible, this system is known as the system of the beast. All right, it's known as the beast. We will see increased violence. And that's of a fact, man. Because when how can I put it? You get very uncomfortable when you put outside the everyday norm. When a mother can get Similac for the baby. All right? Like, for example, at the beginning of this year, you had what? You had the government shutdown. People were crying. It was only for 2 weeks? Begging Mr. Trump, please. You had this one older woman. she was praying to Miss Donald Trump to please allow the you know please allow the government to come back on. Okay, and it was all over a damn wall. All right, but fact being that violence, when people get desperate, hey, they start committing violence, man. Even Jake, rap about that in his songs. You know, basically, hey, they say, well, if I, how did what did he say? Dude, they basically say shit like that, man. If I don't get it and my kid's hungry, somebody gonna get knocked over the head. They say shit like that, man. You know, it says, and as it is written, man, the love of many shall wax cold, man. You know, the love of many shall wax cold. The scriptures say that damn, what's that precept? I think it's Second Ezra 15. All right, how basically people will be breaking into each other's houses. All right, for the lack of bread and the lack of food. All right, so these things are happening. This will result in an increase in police state power. Okay, and with that, I wanted to get this other article that I seen today. Let's see. This one. It was on it says US armies tried to calm residents about upcoming wave of military drills in North Carolina. It says nothing calms the public quite like gunfire in heavy populated areas. Nevertheless, the US Army has plans to do just that starting August 30th and continuing to September 12th in 21 selected counties in North Carolina. Okay? In this these practices, it goes into something. Well, I'm gonna just read it down because it's gonna go into it. So like it says while exact locations are not being released, according to the Charlotte Observer, residents in the following countries should not be alarmed by gunfire, flares, and helicopter activity that it might be witnessed as seen in the video below. It says efforts to calm the public ahead of time come after some past tragic incidents where at least one soldier died and mass panic ensued after a similar exercise was thought to be a real event. The latest group of drills is part of Robin Sage, which is a series of ongoing training exercises conducted out of the Fort Bragg military base. According to the Charlotte Observer, this year's emphasis is being placed on unconventional warfare, where students will match wits with more seasoned soldiers who will act as a realistic opposing forces and guerrilla freedom fighters, officially said in a release. It is not clear in the Observer's report if this series of drills has anything to do with a larger U.S. Army mission of preparing for close combat warfare in megacities, but it does appear to have some of those elements, you know? And of course they gotta say that because what? They don't want to scare the people. Because Esau, he still has he doesn't have everything exactly how he wanted yet. He doesn't have there's a lot of people that still have their guns, so he's trying to stall for time. All right, but that's exactly what it is. It's the government, all right, the US Army, all right, are training for close combat warfare in mega cities. As I reported in 2017, the Pentagon gave a clear image of where they believe warfare is headed in the future as the world cities continue to swell and become pressure cookers for potential insurrection. And there will be race wars, all right? And this is why in a lot of these major cities, there's something known as gentrification, to where the poor, which are normally you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because you're under the curses, are pushed out, all right? The city is built up, and now it's given to you know, the I guess the little the those that are more fortunate, which are normally these heathens, these so-called white people, or the so-called um Asians, or the so-called East Indians and stuff like that. Okay, so it says, as I reported in 2017, the Pentagon gave a very clear image of where they believe warfare is headed in the future as the world cities continue to swell and become pressure cookers for potential insurrection. It's part of a program called Thunderstorm Spiral. Okay, it goes into it. It says drills such as Unified Quest, run yearly by the U.S. Army, also took a sharper turn in 2014 towards addressing the problem of combat in megacities. You know, in 2014 there weren't nearly as many um false flags attacks as there are now. In fact, there was an article I read. They said that it's more there's been more false flag shootings than there has been days in this year. Okay, so it says solicitations. Let me see. Drills such as Unified Quest, run yearly by the U.S. Army, also took a sharper turn in 2014 towards addressing the problem of combat in megacities, defined as cities with more than 10 million people, of which they already are nearly 25 and projected to total near 40 by the year 2025. Solicitations for megacity combat units have been issued by people as prominent as West Point scholar and former range instructor John Spencer. His article on the topic is a must read. Okay, so that's really it, as you see. Okay, but just as this guy Ron Paul said, there will be in a police state. Okay, there will be a police state. Okay, and it's known as what? A thunderstorm spiral. All right, now this is thunderstorm spiral. Pentagon trains for underground war, disaster, and densely populated mega cities. Okay, and they're not gonna go into a populated mega city in practice. They're gonna go into what, down south or whatever. Probably going to, because it's a lot of land down there. You know, and I remember what it was like last year, and like the beginning of the year, January or something like that. I can't exactly remember where, when, but I know over there in Los Angeles they were doing drills like at 3 in the morning, and people were alarmed by that. You know, so hey man, as the scriptures say, man, Ezekiel 21:9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened and is furbished. Alright? Now this is Psalm 17:13. So who is that sword? It says, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay? Because Esau Edom is the Lord's sword. He's the Lord's whipping stick. Alright? He's who the Lord puts on you. Alright? When he wants you to get right. Alright? For you so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans. He's the lowest amongst the low. Alright? He's the devil of the earth. Alright? The bully of the whole earth. Alright? So that sword is Esau, is sharpened, man. He's getting ready to show his horns, man. Actually, I want to grab that. He's getting ready to show his rust. Alright? As the scriptures say, Ecclesiastes or Sirach 12:10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay? So Esau's wickedness is getting ready to be shown again, man. That rust has been polished, you know what I'm saying? Or that iron has been polished, probably though it's been painted, you know what I'm saying? To where to where it looks nice, it looks decent. But after a while, it stopped being taken care of. And guess what? It starts decaying, man. And then you start seeing the rust and you see it for what it really is. And that's Esau, man. Like the scriptures say in Isaiah 47, his lift up thy skirt. Basically meaning that Esau is being found out to be the devil. Okay? And what does the devil do when he finds out that he's a devil? What's the snake do when he's pushed into a corner? He attacks. Okay? Because Esau Edom cannot accept defeat. That's why the Lord said, "Well, I will not meet thee as a man." All right? The scriptures say, and just speaking through the spirit, in 2nd Ezra 13, there's this is a good vision because it shows you Ezra's basically had a vision of World War III and these nations coming together to fight each other, in which we see that coming. We see that brewing up soon as well. All right, after the mandatory implementation of the chip, that is the RFID chip. Okay, but we see, in 2nd Ezra 13, it says that Esau, Edom, and the rest of these. Let me see. Oh, it's okay. So this is 2nd Ezra 13:6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not go into the chariot that the Lord was going to come back with. Ezra said basically it was so big he couldn't tell whether it was actually a mountain or what the heck it was. So this is what the Lord is going to come back with. All right, he's going to come back with the chariots, man. He's going to come back, as the scriptures say in Psalm 69, I think. How the chariots of the Lord are thousands, even thousands. He's going to come back in a fearful sight. As the precept I quoted, I will not meet thee as a man. He's going to meet them, all right, as an angelic force. But I will have seen the region of the place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid. Who were they that were gathered together? Isaiah 13. All right, they were all gathered together in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Isaiah 13, Joel 3. All right, and they stopped fighting to basically fight him, man. Okay. All they that were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So Esau Edom is that sword. He's that whooping stick. All right, that beast man. All right, and damn, I forgot my train of thoughts. Lock, I'm tired as hell. But hey, the sword is being sharpened, man. And this devil, going into the point I was making before, Salakia, of how this devil will not give up his rulership easily, man. Easily. That's the point I wanted to make. And Esau Edom seeing his truth coming out, he's seeing he's losing. And guess what? He's going to come down having great wrath. AKA a thunderstorm spiral. Okay? That sounds like a terrible move, man. Thunderstorm spiral. Hey, man, sometimes when thunderstorms come, they rip trees out the ground, man. Okay? So Esau's going to come like a madman. It says Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And as, hey, man, Lord willing, we not them trees, man. Spiritually speaking. Lord willing, we stay rooted, we stay deep, firm, man. Lord willing, You know what I'm saying? We continue to pray and continue to get it right now, man. Because Esau Edom is coming, man. This devil is coming. Okay? Just everything I just read about is actually written in the scriptures, man. Alright? 2nd Ezra 15 and 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword. Okay, so here we go again, man. The Lord is going to bring the sword, which we just went into. Who is the sword? Esau Edom. Alright, and a plague represents death. So the Most High is going to bring death upon this place by the way of Esau Edom. Pestilences, by the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Okay? And the scriptures say he's going to be like a madman, sparing none. Okay? Jumping down, 2nd Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. You know, which, Salakia, I neglected to mention that this is actually talking about they're going to be, like you see the movie Bushwick, it's going to be gunfights, gun battles, man. You know, but you could spiritually look at it. All right, this is actually what it's talking about. It's actually talking about gun battles, you know, in the streets and stuff. We could spiritually look at it as if also that Esau, all right, which is also the Lord's sword, is going to come down having great wrath. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. Okay, and that will happen too, which will cause martial law, mass unrest, and swords in their hand. For there shall be sedition among men, evil, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the courses of their actions shall stand in their power. You know, and that's another thing the guy Ron Paul, he mentioned in the article. He was saying how once his fiat money falls, all right, people are going to get violent. Because what? All right, because it's not going to be no food, it's not going to be no water, it's not going to be no safety. All right, and everybody's already selfish, so how much more in that day? And invading one another, because niggas think if I don't have it, well, and somebody else got it, well, they just gonna have to die. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride. And this is, you can kind of see this in Hong Kong, man. You know, you can kind of see this in Hong Kong with the riots, man. Really all across the world. You know, to where they're not believing in the government and the bullshit they say, man. And that's what's coming to this place, man. You know, there's not going to be any safety coming to this place. There's not going to be any help. There's not going to be any justice. So people are going to soon realize that they got to get it on their own. All right, now we're not pushing violence, but we're just telling you what's going to happen because, hey, most people don't have faith. So they're going to feel, like I said, they're going to feel like they got to go out and fight for it on their own. Okay? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Martial law. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So trouble is coming, aka thunderstorm, man. Thunderstorm spirals. So with that, shalom to the elect.